Alright, and here's a video review for War for Cybertron Siege Voyager class Optimus Prime. Now, he's a little smaller in vehicle mode than Megatron, and just in general, he almost feels like a deluxe in vehicle mode. Not so much in robot mode. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with him that's actually pretty cool. I didn't show off the instructions in Megatron's video, and I'm going to take just a real quick second to show you how these are. They're a little better than some of the previous stuff. Like, they actually have white backgrounds, but again, Optimus is a little better than Megatron because the red sticks out a little bit more than the purple does, but because there's a few spots where you get the idea of what you're supposed to do. One, because these are not super complex, but also because it kind of gives you a vague idea of where to be moving things, but they're still not perfect. They're getting there. They're definitely a step up from earlier directions, but they could definitely be... I miss the old days of the photographs and the Beast Wars slash car robots, robots in disguise, those where they were like the line drawings, which made it really easy. Black and white line drawings on white paper, and you could see them. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So here's Optimus, and he's a truck. He's a truck with a hat. He's got his rifle here and a little shield on his back, and we'll get to more of those in a minute. He's got some armored covered wheels back here. He's a truck. Now, some people, I've seen somebody make a hover mode for him that is not in the instructions, so I don't know if it's official, but if you want to, you can kind of angle his wheels out a little bit to make him look like, you know, the hover modes from War for Cybertron. Although, at this point, like, honestly, I have no problem with him just being a truck. Car's got to roll. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But anyway. Oh, come on, wheel. Why are you not being a... Stay in your home. Yeah, it's being a butt right now, but... He rolls okay. Now, like I said, the hat on top of the truck looks a little silly, especially from certain angles when you see just all the translucent blue up in here. It's just a little much. And honestly, this whole top piece really seems to just kind of be there for the sake of how they made the transformation work, because there's like a fake grill behind here, which I get. It does make the transformation a little bit more interesting, but and from the side it doesn't really look so bad. He's got a little bit of an overhang, but it doesn't look ridiculous. It's just looks silly. Not enough to ruin the figure, but odd choice. But he actually, like, Megatron is fairly straightforward. Optimus has a lot of neat little bits on him that you just start opening up and you're like, oh, now that moves. Okay, now this... It's crazy. So to start off, we're going to open up his front chest. And then there's kind of a little Matrix-esque pattern here behind his windscreen. And only here in vehicle mode. It disappears when you get to robot mode, but oh well. And then you got to untab these panels right here from the side. And then the bumper and all this mess. I got to untab these pieces from the bumper. This whole assembly lifts up. And there's the core Optimus robot that we all know and maybe love. Take these panels here on the side and flip them out from here. And then to get the arms out, these pieces right here are part of the arms. So bring the wheels down. And when going back, make sure to bring the wheels down. When going from robot to vehicle, make sure to bring these wheels all the way down when you bring the arms in so you can get these panels in before you flip the wheels up. And then the arm comes out. The arms actually transform very much like his old G1 self, in which they swing out to the sides and then swing forward. Go ahead and flip his head up. And once his head is flipped up, he's got a big empty cavity where I guess you could physically put like a smaller Matrix toy in there, but and then close these window panels again. And at this point, before you bring the arms all the way forward, take the wheels and fold them up on this armature up into his body. You can see it kind of comes out. It's hinged in a couple different places, here and here and up in here, so that wheel can collapse up into his body, which is actually a pretty neat little detail. One, the black kind of helps emphasize the abs here, and just the way they fold up and just store into the body is really neat, versus just hanging off the side. Then you can bring the arms forward. This panel folds down And this little, you can leave this forward as kind of like a weapon if you wanted to, especially if he's holding like one of the weapon masters or a bigger gun. It looks like a secondary part for it. But you want to fold it in toward the inside of the arm because there's a little tab here that's going to hold it in place. If you try to go the other way, it'll hit this and it won't fold straight under the arm. So fold that in like that. Arm done. And it also is kind of evocative of the shape of his old arms anyway. Fold those around. And there's his upper body done. This panel, fold the bumper, or the bumper first. These side panels in. Fold this up onto the back. Like that. Just leave that there for right now. These panels, bring them down like this. Bring his whole waist piece forward to match the front of his crotch there. And then you can take this piece, twist it, and fold it down onto his back, just like that. So it gives him kind of a square back, and I don't know, there's not really much here that he needs. Like I said, this is the hat part that everybody was kind of complaining about, and I get it, but it's really only there to facilitate this piece folding down with the fake grill. And while it does make the truck a little bit more square than they would have worked with this inner abs piece, it would have been nice if we didn't have all that fake grill stuff coming around, especially at the expense of adding this weird top to him. But hey, I didn't design the toy. And despite that, he's actually quite fun. So the legs, go ahead and split them apart. Take these panels and fold them down. Now, you don't have to fold these up for vehicle mode. He'll transform just fine if you don't flip them up, and they're kind of a pain to get your fingernail under. It helps to come from the split the legs and come at them from the side. But it does expose this port, which is where his shield was stored in trailer mode and where you can put a Battle Master in vehicle mode. So it's worth flipping them up, but you don't have to. But flip those down like that. And then you take these wheels, fold them just around to the other side of the legs. And then these panels, flip the gray panel out and around, and then fold this down. This little screw hole is going to sit in this notch, and this tab's going to tab right in here inside the leg. So it helps the legs feel a little more filled in. You can, I think, fold this up. Well, maybe you can't. If you leave that folded up, it just kind of exposes the leg and it looks a little gross. Not horrible, but it looks better if you fold this in like that. Again, flip that around, fold it down like this. Flip out the feet, and then rotate his legs just there at the knee, which gives his wheels on the outside of the leg, exposes his vents. And there is Optimus Prime. He's got his vents are his exhausts are a little stubby, and they're on a hinge so you can swing his arm out, which is nice. They also have Weapon Master ports on the side as well as here, as well as down here on the legs. You can store a couple things on his back. It's pretty cool. He can hold his rifle, which is a nice little approximation of his G1 cannon. He's got the shield that goes on his arm, if you so desire. Sticks out a little bit, but there's a reason for that. And it looks like there's a couple tabs here that may interact with some more Weapon Masters. Maybe they can peg in there. But also, the shield, you flip this down, flip this piece up and out, flip this piece up and out, and now he has an axe. And that's pretty cool. And when you're folding it back up, fold the big blade in first and then the little blade, because if you try to do, you'd see they'll get caught otherwise. So when you're going back to axe, flip out the little blade first, then the big blade. But if you flip in the little blade before you fold in the big blade going to the shield, they conflict. So you want to make sure to do that in the proper order. But anyway, there's his axe. And again, he can hold that in his hand as well. So he's pretty armed. He's got a nice up and down. His head can turn all the way around. So take that, Megatron. A little bit up and down movement. Tool swivel arms, bicep swivel. He does have a wrist swivel, so that's also a bonus. He has a waist swivel. Thighs. A little bit of a thigh here, although the shape of his leg stops it a little bit, but he does have a knee rotation. You can bend his legs up. If you even got this out of the way, they can fold up even more. And he also has ankle tilts as well as some toe articulation there for how they fold up. Size-wise, I don't have the original Classics Voyager Prime mold, but I do have the Fire Guts repaint to give you an idea. Height-wise, about the same. Slightly less massive because he doesn't have the big arm cab pieces. A little less chunky than, but overall a little better proportioned. He also doesn't have like the skinny waist that the Classics version did. And also a really nice head sculpt. And I'm going to zoom in on both of these here in a minute. But I promised comparisons here once we got to robot mode. So here he is with Megatron. They're roughly the same height. Megatron a little bulkier overall. But they scale really nicely together. They look great together. Optimus Prime, I think the battle damage on him bugs me even a little less than Megatron, partly because Megatron's like the gray sticks out a little bit more on the gray. Although it's a little messier down here. Pretty sure it's removable. Like all these pieces seem to be molded in solid color plastic. I have not put that to the test yet. But if you really just can't stand it, this right here on Optimus Prime, much like his original animated deluxe figure, might be a bit of a pain because I'm pretty sure that's on translucent plastic, unless those are inserts. Let me check. Oh no, those are inserts. Clear as inserts. So this is actually solid color plastic. You can probably remove all the battle damage if you wish. That may very well have been intentional on their part. I do not know, but that's nice. But I do want to get a look at their head sculpts because these two are probably, outside of the Masterpiece line, the most cartoon Optimus and Megatron we have gotten as toys. And don't worry, I'm gonna get even closer than this. Actually, let's zoom in here. It's a little hard to tell here, but Optimus does have blue eyes hiding up in there. Little metallic blue eyes. Megatron's got metallic red. But yeah, not 100% exactly perfect cartoon, although even that can be subjective from episode to episode. But aside from the fact that Megatron's a tank, they're actually pretty decently G1 accurate, which is cool. And of course, Megatron or Optimus's truck hat, but yeah, like I said, they're solid. Construction seems good, better than some of the stuff we've had in more recent lines. Certainly better than. They're more complex than Cyberverse. Although, like I said, the Cyberverse toys, despite being kiddie and simplified, actually have pretty sturdy construction, especially Beef Tank, he'd make another appearance, but I moved him somewhere. I don't know where he went. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy with these. Like I've got to eat a little bit of crow because I remember when they first announced these, I was kind of like, do we really need more G1? And to be honest, I'm still a little of that opinion. I don't know how much I need more G1 redone. But these two, and like I said, there's still some upcoming molds, like the Starscream. I'll check it out, but I'm not big on it. From what I've seen so far, Soundwave, again, some neat stuff with robot mode. I want that little Cybertronian laser beak. Brunt is a neat addition. They're doing some neat figures. Skytread I'm looking forward to, aka Flywheels. So we'll see how it goes. But initially when I'm like, do we really need another Optimus and Megatron? And now that I've played with them, I am quite impressed. I'm enjoying them. They're fun. They're not 100% perfect, but I got them in hand, and I'm really digging them more than I thought I would for another Optimus and Megatron. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. But anyway, there he is, Siege Voyager Optimus Prime.